This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so good morning, team. In this Databricks Data Engineering Master Program, so in today's session, we will talk about mount AWS S3 storage container in Azure Databricks. So uh, cross cloud access, you can say, meaning from AWS storage, we are accessing from the Azure. Okay, AWS storage account, we are accessing from the Azure services. Are you getting? Today, I'll show you how you can able to like log in into the AWS console and how you can able to view all those things. If you want to know how to create AWS account, you can able to go through my YouTube channel. I'll share the link. It is very simple. And AWS, one advantage is you no need to have a credit card. Even if you have a debit card, you can create the AWS S3 storage. And the free services, there is a limit in terms of using the free services, and free services can be used up to 1 year. Up to 1 year you can able to use in the AWS S3. That's why in market you will have a more AWS resources will be available. The reason is, so it has a lot of free trial and many people can able to try out the things, but Azure is costly. Most of the people won't try to learn the Azure. That's where we are having lack of Azure resources in the market still. Okay, so that's why we will learn today how to connect to the AWS S3 storage from the Databricks. Simple terms, I'll tell you, AWS S3 storage is very similar to your data lake storage Gen 2. So data lake storage Gen 2 is an unlimited storage. It is used for big data analytics. Similarly, S3 is a AWS data lake, AWS storage account, and it is used for storing unlimited data. Any size of file you can able to store it in the AWS S3. Next, we will learn quick recap of yesterday's session. Mount S3 container in Databricks file system using keyword overview diagram. Introduction to the S3 storage. What is S3? Yes, first S means simple, next S means storage, next S means service. Simple storage service. 3S. It is starting with the 3S. That's why it is called a S3. Okay. What is the full form of the S3? Simple storage service. So secret scope, to connect to the keyword from Databricks. We will mount S3 container in Databricks file system using keyword. Mount point advantages you know already, but we will discuss once again. Create a data frame from S3 CSV file. We will create a S3 bucket. There, it is not called as a S3 storage account and all. It is called a buckets. Each bucket is called a one account. Okay. So S3 bucket we will create, and writing data frame data to the CSV file we will see. Prerequisite require resources assignments we will see in today's session. So yesterday what we have done, we have established connection to the Snowflake. So from Snowflake I connected to the like a Snowflake host name, username, password, database name, everything I stored in the keyword. From Databricks I read those keys into the, from keyword I read them into the Databricks. Databricks used those host name, username, password, database name to connect to Snowflake. After connecting to Snowflake, we have learned how to read and write data to the Snowflake. And also we learned the free trial how you can able to create for the Snowflake. This is what we have done in the yesterday session. So today we will see, so we have a data sources AWS S3 image and S3 storage, simple storage service. So which is our source today. We will keep, so we'll create a bucket, S3 bucket. We will create a folders and we will keep some data in that. Then S3 storage, we will keep it in the keyword. S3 storage keys, whatever storage keys that we need to access this, the AWS S3 storage, whatever access key, secret value, that is nothing but a kind of username and password I need, that I'll keep it in the keyword. From Databricks, I'll connect to keyword. I'll take the access key and secret value. Using that access key secret value, I'll create a mount point for the image in S3, and then I can able to read data. I can able to write the data back to the image in S3. Clear, team? Now, what is AWS S3? So AWS, what is the AWS full form team? Amazon Web Services. So through the web browser, we can able to access the services. What are those services? Amazon services. That's why the full form is Amazon services. You can able to access it through the web. Okay, so that's why the name is Amazon Web Services. Short name is AWS. S3 means simple storage service, which is a scalable means if you have huge data, it can, the size can be increased. So that's why you never see the limit in terms of the storage account. It is a unlimited. It can scale as per you store more data, more size it will increase in the backend. It is high speed. If you're reading some data, if you're writing some data from S3, you can very quickly you can able to do, because it is also designed for the data analytics. It is the low cost web based service, so you can able to access the S3 storage account through the web browser only, right? So that's why it is a web based service, and it is low cost compared to even Azure Data Lake and Blob. S3 storages are little cheaper. These are mainly designed for online backup, archiving of data, and application programs. So for data analytics, for everything, because you don't have like a blob storage, data lake storage, something like that. You don't have multiple storages in the AWS. We have a single storage called AWS S3. You can able to do AWS. You can use AWS S3 to do everything. Whatever we were doing using blob, whatever we were doing using ADL agent, everything we were doing using a single service in AWS called S3 storage. So this S3 storage allows you to upload, store, download any type of file up to 5 TB in size. When I say 5 TB in size, single upload, single file. You know, you never see a file which is having a 5 TB, single file which is 5 TB. But still, if you really can able to create that much big file, so single file up to 5 TB it can able to allow. Understood? It is not a AWS S3 limit is 5 TB. It is a single file limit. But I think you never seen even 5 TB file, single 5 TB file. Have you ever seen anybody? Have you ever seen at least 1 TB file, team? 1 TB file,
No.
have you ever seen? No, we won't see that. Okay. Image and S3 features, if you see, it is low cost, it is easy to use, it is secure, because you have, when we are creating S3 storage, you will see a lot of encryptions will be there. When you are creating S3, you will have encryptions. When you are uploading the file, you will have encryption. Lot of security will be there. Scalable, as we mentioned, it can scale up or down. If you are keep on storing more data, its size can be grown. Higher performance, you'll get better performance. And S3 is mainly integrated with the AWS services, and you can also pull the data from S3 into Databricks or ADF. ADF or Databricks Azure services can able to read the data from S3 storage accounts. Okay, but mainly Azure services will have a integration with the Azure. AWS services will have integration with the AWS storages. Okay. So create scope, using this URL, you will create a connection to the keyword. So mount, okay, S3 storage from the Databricks. This is how we need to do. So first one is team. You need to give the mount name is nothing but your container name. Okay. AWS bucket is nothing but your storage name. AWS. So I'm talking in terms of the Azure, but in the AWS, these are called a, this is called a folder. This is called a bucket. But I am comparing in Azure, so we will call this as a data lake storage account. This is a container in the storage. Understood? This is a bucket in AWS. This is called a folder in the bucket. Now we need to have a access key and a secret. There are two things we need. But if you look at secret, what we are trying to do is we are replacing slash with percentile 2f. Because if you have a slash here, okay, think that you are passing some extra value. So that's why we need to replace, if you have a slash, we need to replace with percentile 2f. So that will be understood by percentile 2f. That's how you need to encode this secret key. That password you need to encode it. That is what suggested by even our AWS team, Imagine team suggested. In case when you generate a secret key, if secret key is having a slash, please replace that slash with a percentile 2f. That's why safe side we are putting this, because slash is not recommended. At the rates are not recommended in your passwords. So this is the editable code. This is just a screenshot I have taken yesterday. Okay, fine. Importance of mount point, all users in the Databricks workspace will have immediate access. People who are using that cluster can able to access that point immediately. So people of other cluster, okay, other cluster, they have to use the refresh mount command in case if they are not able to access that mount point. Right, these things. But these points I think I have not changed as per the data lake, but it is very similar to your S3. Everybody's clear on this thing. Okay, now I changed. All users in the database workspace have access to the mounted S3 container immediately. Uh, Clusters of that users can able to access immediately. Other cluster users, they can execute this refresh command to execute it. Okay, fine. Read files from the data frame. Once you mounted, you can able to use mount path to read it. You know how to write. In the overwrite mode you can write, in append mode you can able to write the data. Prerequisites, if you see, you have AWS S3 we need, Azure Databricks we need, Azure Key Vault we need. So required resources are AWS S3 we need, Azure Databricks, Azure Key Vault we need. Okay. So assignments, if you see, you need to read data from AWS S3 storage and write to ADL agent using the mount with the Key Vault. Okay, understood team, everybody? Okay, so now first I'll show you how to create a, okay, how to log in into the AWS account. Okay, so let me enter into the incognito mode. The URL to log in into the AWS services is console.aws.amazon.com. Okay, this is the URL that you need to use. What you need to use? Console. So console.aws.azure.com. After that, if you are a normal user, you have to enter your account ID, your username and password. For example, you are a main user, admin user, sign in with a root user. Just wait. Here I need to enter my root user ID. So let me enter cloud62@gmail.com. Next. So let me enter the password. I have the account. Okay, so multi-factor authentication. Let me enter it here. Problem is it only supports with the app. I need to find out the app in my mobile. Just a minute, Tim. I'll do it. Okay. So the code is 535251. Submit. Okay. So this is how you have to log in, but AWS account also I'll show you end of today try session based on the time. Otherwise, I'll share the recording. If you still have any problem in creating, we will see. Okay. So now, so this is the account, right? So in this account, you can just click on this. You can say account organization. Okay, service quota. What services you can able to use to which limit, billing and cost management. For example, if you have to make any payment. Okay, if you need to make any payment to your services, you can able to see all the payments here. Okay, so all the payments here, if you go to payments, uh, in the bills and all, it will show. See, mine is pending from August to 2023 onwards. My bills are pending. Okay, you have 25 payments past to do, because I am not much using AWS, so that's why I have not made. So these payments and all you have to do regularly, otherwise your services will be blocked. Okay, yesterday night only, just I verified whether account is there or not. I'm able to log in. I changed my latest mail ID as well. Now, to see all the AWS services that are supported, right, you can click on this. You can see analytics. Okay, you can see databases. If you go to databases, you will have RDS means relational database management systems. So relational database services, you can say. So in RDS, for example, in RDS, if you click on create a databases, you will have multiple databases you can create as part of RDS. See Aurora, MySQL, MySQL compatible Aurora, MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres, Oracle, MySQL, IBM DB2, different databases you can able to create it. So for example, if you want to go for analytics, we are interested in only analytics. Go to analytics. See data pipeline, it is similar to our Azure Data Factory. So you have a EMR service. So where in Azure we have Azure H3 Insight. Similarly, we have your EMR service which uses the native Spark. Meaning, so Azure uses Azure H3 Insight. Azure H3 Insight is the Microsoft product, Microsoft service which uses Spark. Similarly, in AWS, EMR is the AWS service which uses the Spark in the background. Okay, AWS Glue also you can able to use for the data transformation, but it is a serverless. Compute and all will be managed by the AWS. You have to write only Spark code here. Okay, so like that. So image on Redshift, it is similar to your data warehouse. We talked about dedicated SQL pool. We talked about Snowflake. So image on Redshift is the data warehouse in the cost effective data warehousing. So image on Redshift is the data warehouse in the AWS. If you go to compute, here you can have Azure functions. We have here AWS functions we have called a Lambda. So like that, very similar services will be there. But let's go to the storages. In the storages, you have a different storages, but generally S3 is the main service that we will be using. These are kind of hard disks, backups which are used with the virtual machines. But if you see scalable storage in the cloud is S3, just to click on the S3 now. I am in the S3. Now I am able to mark it as a favorite list here. How I made that as a favorite list? For example, if you go to compute, here you see I made it as a year star. If you uncheck this, EC2 is gone. Again, if I want to get EC2, so go to compute. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. It's a virtual machine in the cloud. Click select here. See EC2 is added here. Like that, you can make that something is favorite. So the advantage of making something is favorite is you can directly click on this service. You will go to the storage account. So whenever you are creating a storage account, generally if it is Azure, at the time of creating the service, you need to choose in which data center you want to create S3 storage. But here itself you need to choose in which data center you want to create S3 storage. Okay, US East. This is the main data center for all the cloud providers, North Virginia. Okay, click on create bucket. See, here it is called a bucket, not a storage account. Click on create a bucket. Is it used for the directory or is it recommended for low latency use cases? Low latency means for the production and all, we will go for directory level, but general purpose, we will go for our learning. Okay, so bucket name is, I'll say Cloud Pandit S3 storage. Okay, Cloud Pandit. Let me see Cloud Pandit S3 storage is the storage name. Now come down. So object ownership. Do you want to enable the ACL or you want to disable the ACL? ACL means access control list. So you can able to enable some policies. If you enable, so we can able to say who can able to access this file and all. uh, like if you want to control ACL, you can able to control it, but it is highly recommended to disable the ACL. So I am also disabling the access control list, because we won't allow somebody to control the permissions and all. As a admin, we will take care of everything. Okay, so ACL is disabled, and I am blocked all public access. So I am unblocking the public access. When I unblock public access, it doesn't mean anybody can able to access the storage account. No. Okay, but public access means what happens is, generally if you block all public access means you can't able to access this directly storage account. You need to have a you need to take the root user or IAM user. IAM user means new user. IAM, whatever is showing, it is called a identity access management. So all your access will be managed here. It is similar to your Azure Active Directory. So from the Azure Active Directory, you can create the user, you can grant the permissions. Whoever is having the permissions, only they will be able to access it. But now if you disable the public access means, directly I can able to take the root user credentials. Using the root user credentials, I can able to access this particular S3 storage, because I have a admin username and password. For that admin username and password, I don't need to add it in the S3 storage. Directly I can able to access, because it is enabled with the public access. So that's why I'm enabling the public access. Okay, I acknowledge that the current settings might result in the bucket and object within becoming public. Turning off all public access might result in the bucket and object within becoming public. So AWS recommends that you turn on block all public access unless public access is required for specific and verified use cases such as static website hosting. Okay, so that's fine. We want to enable the public access. For example, you deleted some file and you want to get it, or you have one file, you made some changes in the file, but I want to get the file which is before you made the changes in the file. If you want such type of things, you need to enable the bucket versioning, because if you made some changes, it will save it as a new version, and the earlier version also will be available as a version 1. So if you want, you can make it, otherwise leave it. So encryption will have for the security different encryptions you can use. Let's use it as a default encryptions. With this, click create the bucket. Okay, once the bucket is created, click on this bucket. Here you have a create folder option. Click create folder option. So folder I am giving it as global, or you want to give it as a cloud pandit is a root folder, you can give it as a cloud pandit. Create folder. Under cloud pandit root folder, I want to create a India folder. You can create a India. Under India, so you want to create landing. Let me create a landing, create folder. Under landing, let me create a cust, create a folder. Oh shit, it is created outside. Select this cust folder, click delete. And whenever you are deleting something, so you need to make this as a permanently delete keyword, you need to use it. Okay, it is deleted. Click on this URL. Now landing is created. See, Cloud Pandit India landing is created. Go inside landing. Now click on create folder. Now I am creating a folder called cust. Create folder. Okay, so cust. Cloud Pandit is the main folder, subfolder, subfolder. Okay, cust is the subfolder. Now here I want to upload data. Click on upload. Add file. Go to data sets. Take some CSV file. Okay. After selecting that particular file, where this file is selected here, click on upload team. Okay, so upload is successful. View details below, click close. Now you see credit daily.csv file, type is this, last modified is this, size is this, storage class is standard class. Now we have the data here. Now storage account is ready team. Now we need to take the root user credentials, username and password. I want to take it. For that, click on the user, go to security credentials. Come down. So access keys, click on create access keys. So root user access keys are not recommended. We don't recommend that you create root user access keys because you can't specify root users in permission policies. That is what we have disabled, right? Permissions and all we have disabled and we enabled it as a public access. So if I have this root username and password, I can able to access the storage account. So you can't limit its permissions, which is a best practice. So we want to limit the permission, but if you are using root access, you can't limit its permission. Instead, use alternatives such as IAM role or user IAM identity center, which provides temporary rather than long-term credentials. But I want a long-term credentials. I don't want any temporary credentials. That's why I'm going with this kind of approach. Okay. Go with I understand creating root user is not a best practice. Create access keys. So this is access key. This is a secret key. So now you need to copy these things. Later you can't able to copy. Only one time it will be shown. Copy this. Copy this secret also. Okay. This is the access key. This is a secret. Okay. Clear. Fine. So now you go back to the S3 storage now. Okay, so this is your Cloud Pandit S3 storage. Under that Cloud Pandit folder, under that India folder, under that landing cust, you have the credit underscore leader CSV. See, in Amazon S3 you have a bucket, S3 bucket you created, container, subfolder, subfolder, subfolder. So finally file is there. Okay, now come to your Azure account. Let's create a Azure Databricks and a Azure Key Vault here. Click on create Azure Databricks. Resource group I am creating it as Cloud Pandit dev archie. Click OK. Cloud Pandit dev ADB workspace. Click review plus create. Create it. Come to second tab. Okay. So now you need to go to key vaults. Click on create a key vault. Resource group is this. Name of the key vault I am giving Cloud Pandit AKV workspace 005. Click review plus create. Create it. Okay. So now what we wanted to do, we want as per this diagram, we want to do the things. So you know, right, this one if you remember, so we already stored some data. Now we need to take image and S3 storage keys and store it in the keyword. Okay, so let's do once it is available. Okay, so now what I'll be doing meantime until Databricks is available, go to access control IAM, add role assignment. What access we need to grant him next? Sorry, we need to choose the role, right? Keyword administrator. Next, select members. So I need to grant Cloud Pandit at the @gmail.com. Second one is Azure Databricks. So once I granted these permissions, so you can go to the secrets. What we can do here, Tim? Okay, click on generate/import. So S3 access key. So what you need to get here, you need to take this key, put this here, create it. Generate/import again, S3 secret key, and we need to store the secret value here, create it. Okay, access key, secret key we have stored here successfully. Now come to Databricks. Go to Databricks. Okay, I'm launching. Now what you have done, Tim? Now S3 keys we have stored in the keyword. Now I'm opening the Databricks. From Databricks, I'll connect to the keyword. So before I establish connection, first I'll go to compute. Let me create a cluster. Let me create the cluster, single node cluster with this particular node type I want. Click create compute. So after creation of compute, now let's create a connection to the keyword team. Hash secrets slash create scope. Let me know if you're not able to understand something. AKV connection. Creator is for all workspace users. Go to keyword workspace. Where we need to go? Properties. Copy this value URI. Put that here. Resource ID you can copy and put that here. Correct? Create it. Okay. Now come to workspace. So you can create a notebook directly here. Okay. Read, write, write what? S3. Okay, read write from the S3. That is what we wanted to do. This is fine. Created a cluster notebook connected to the key vault. So in the key vault we have stored all the sensitive information. So that's when now we need to get the connection code. So let me open the documentation. Mount S3 storage. This is the documentation. If you come down, you can see mount a bucket using AWS keys. Okay, when you mount an S3 using keys, all users have read and write access to all objects into the S3 bucket. Okay, so copy this code, put this code here. Now you tell me, so access key, what is the connection name, team? AKV connection, correct?
Connection.
So this is S3 access key, right? Yes, this AKV connection, S3 secret key. I think same I have given here also. Access key, secret key. Okay. So access key, secret key I'm reading. This secret key I'm replacing with %2f and AWS bucket name. So what is the bucket that you wanted to connect? That bucket name we need to get it. So let's get that bucket name. So here you can see Cloud Pandit S3 bucket is the bucket name. You have to put that bucket name here. What is the main folder, main container in this? Cloud Pandit is a container. You can just give here as a Cloud Pandit container. But instead of giving like this, okay, to the variable, okay, don't worry, don't look at this statement. This statement is not required, only this statement. So don't worry about this statement. I'll talk about this statement. So because you need to understand how the print statement works. Okay. So once I explain that, it is easy for you to understand this statement. I'll talk about this statement in some time. Let's attach this to the cluster, but the cluster is not yet ready, that's why we need to wait. So tell me team, if I say print welcome to Cloud Pandit, so what will print if I execute this? What will happen if I execute first command? Tell me team.
Just prints the
Print
statement.
the statement.
Hmm?
Print the statement.
It prints welcome to cloud.
Welcome to Cloud Pandit, print statement is going to come, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Next, here name equal to Cloud Pandit. Okay, for example, if I give it, and if I pass like this, you will get the same thing. Welcome to Cloud Pandit. Okay, this is one way you can do. Okay, it is also available. Now let me show you. This is one way what you can able to do. Okay, welcome to Cloud Pandit will print. Now very carefully observe now. So first one I was talking about is, yeah, let it execute. So let me otherwise print it and show you everything. See, first I have written like this, right? Welcome to Cloud Pandit. Okay, welcome to Cloud Pandit is also giving like this, but Cloud Pandit, if I pass it through the variable, it is working. Why we were doing like this? Because we want to pass maybe today Cloud Pandit, next MS, maybe next Venkat, something. Names can be different values I want to pass and I want to print it. So yeah, this is second way. The third way what you can do is print, okay, welcome to curly brace dot format, okay, name you can able to. Now you can see welcome to Cloud Pandit. Is it working? Yes. So when you want to pass a multiple values, name, like value, something multiple values, you can also call it as a, this is the first value, 0th index, you can assign it. Okay. Next. Instead of doing all this nonsense, okay, it is very difficult to understand and all. Very easy way, one more way is that. One more way that you have is, for example, name, right? Name you can keep it here. This is the name. Print. So what is welcome to Cloud Pandit. But instead of Cloud Pandit, I want to pass a variable. So this is the variable. So name, you put it in the curly brace, and to mark this as a variable, you need to replace variable value. You need to use it's a format. I'm formatting F. You need to use. Now you see, is it coming?
Yes.
Okay. Count equal to 5. So here it is saying like this. We are count. Now you see we are 5, it is coming, meaning, so now directly in the curly braces you can put your variable, so it will be replaced with the variable value. So to make this as a, this to work, you need to use a F here. If you're not using F, it will work like this, as it is will come. Okay, curly brace name, curly brace count only will come. To replace these variables with the actual value, variable values, you need to mark this as a format. Okay, same thing we are doing here. We are putting a format S3A colon slash slash. I want to pass a access key variable. Understood? Colon encoded secret key I want to pass next. This is the variable at the rate AWS bucket name I want to pass. Okay, so this is a one statement. So for second statement also again he is using format MNT. Mount name is passing. Everybody understood this statement? Anusha, you understood this one? Any confusion, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Now, first before I create a mount point, right? So mount point you are creating for what? You are creating directly for the storage account. But we want to create a mount point for the container. That's why I'm putting slash here, and I'm also passing this mount name, which is nothing but a container name. Okay, so if you wanted to know how this and this will be formed generally, so let me print those things here. So these are just a printing so that you can see what is exactly creating here. Okay, I'm just commenting this, I'm just executing this. Now I'm not creating any mount, but I'm just printing. See, it will come like this. Redacted because it's a sensitive data, that is redacted, but storage name slash container name. This is a MNT slash cloud funded. Understood it? So this is how the first line will come like this, the second line comes like this. So same values I'm passing here in order to create the mount point. So before I create a mount point, I want to check the existing mount dbutils.fs.mounts. You don't have anything mnt slash cloud pandit. Now I'm just executing this. Okay, mount point is created. You can execute the mounts. See mnt slash cloud pandit, is it mounted for the storage and this container? Now, so how to check what folders we have in that and all fs.ls mnt slash cloud pandit. In the cloud pandit container, what is the mount point that we have, team? Under mnt slash cloud pandit we have India. Under India, what do you have, team? Landing. Under landing, what do you have, team? Cust. Under cust, what do you have, team? Credit daily says. Now you can take this as a path, and we can try to create a data frame from this CSV file. Source path equal to df equal to spark.read.format of CSV. So do you have headers in the file? Yes, I have headers. So I can say header comma true dot load. Any statement you can use. Simple statement spark.read.csv also you can able to use, or you can simply read it like this. You can see it in here. So why data is not displayed? Okay, I think the display of df was not taken. Yeah. Now you see, so the data we are able to read successfully. Now this data, can we also read the, can we read this from the other notebooks or not? Can I read from here or not, Tim? Is it possible to read from here? Tell me.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. What level of access it is? Workspace or notebook or cluster level?
workspace.
It's a workspace level access. So even if you want to read it even in the Scala language, will you be able to read? Yes. Even in the
Yes.
Scala, if you want to read it, you can be able to read it. See, it is reading in Scala. Understood? So these connections will be available everywhere. Now you can take this df, and I want to write the data back to the, maybe let's say I want to now first thing is you need to read it in the Python if you want to use it for writing in the Python. Okay, so that's why let me write it in. Oops. Let me move to Python notebook again. Read it in the Python, and then this is a target path. Staging, I am saying staging, and cust. File name you don't need to give while writing. Okay, so this is the data frame that I want to write. Df dot write dot what is overwrite format is CSA option header equal to true, header comma true, dot save into tgt underscore path. Now let's run it. It is written. Now let's see in the AWS whether staging path is created or not. The staging is created, cust is created. Under that all the files are there. Okay, so this file is having the data, but you can't look at the data, so you need to have something called open. Okay, it is just downloading the file. You can just download and you can able to see the data if you want to see the data. But as we want to see the data, I'm just opening this, and this is the file which it has downloaded. You can see it here. This is the data which it has written. Okay, you know, if I, so instead of because if you want to read it like this, it is very difficult to read it every time, right? So that's why I want to again, so this target path itself I want to read it. Instead of writing, I want to read it. Here 1122, so same data. Now let's say if I'm overwriting once again, how many records will be there in this target path? Let's read it here itself. Same 12 rows will be there, right? See, same 12 rows are there. But let's say if I put a append mode and write the data into the target, how many records will be there when you read it?
24.
24.
24. Let's see, we have 24 records or not? Yes. If I overwrite again, you know how many will be there. Only 12 records will be there now if you read it. Okay, 12 rows. That's how you can able to do the append or overwrite. It's a workspace level access, and this is how you can able to create the mount point for the S3. But for example, if I want to unmount it, how to unmount it? How to unmount this MNT slash cloud funded mount point is there? How to unmount this?
Tribute
Give it
installed.
fs dot unmount and give that name.
What is the name?
Maybe it is dot fs dot can list that MNT cloud.
Okay, MNT slash cloud funded the mount point you need to give here to unmount it. Okay, don't confuse. We learned again. I thought you know unmounting. That's why I'm not highlighting every day. Mount point you need to give here to mount it. Now you check the mounts. You don't have any mount. Okay, so this is how you can able to connect to the AWS S3 storage using the access key and the secret key. You can able to create the mount point. So this is the documentation linked. So you understood, right? Formatting. So formatting of the data, please try to learn, team. So this is the one way you can print it. Second way is plus name, it will print it. Third way is curly braces. For example, you want to pass name and count. Okay, so this is formatting, this is fine. The other way also will be very frequently using, that is, for example, if you leave it like this, you will give it as a format of name comma count. You can able to give. Okay, so it is taking the name as here and the count as here, correct? But sometimes same name I want to repeat it in multiple places, here and here. You need to use the like 0 and 1 means 0 is coming here, 1 is coming here. Okay, same. But let's say 0 I want to take name, I want to take thanks 0. Now finally what is happening? Thanks Cloud Pandit is coming, meaning same name if you want to reuse again, you can use a curly brace 0. Because if you are not using this and you are giving name and count only, it will throw error. Because it is expecting 3 but you have passed only 2. That's why give the indexes. This should be used by zeroth value it has to use. It should use first value. It has to use again zeroth index. Okay, either in most of our when we start our data processing coding and all, we use this formatting or we use this formatting. So these two formats should be very clear to all of you. Any questions with respect to the S3 storage account? Mounting S3, anybody have any doubts? Now let me also show you how to delete it. This is tricky, right? So you need to choose, not here. You need to come back to the buckets, choose that bucket name, click on delete bucket. So it is saying this bucket is not empty. So first you need to remove the content that is there in the bucket. Click on empty bucket. Okay. So now bucket is emptied. Removed everything that is there in the bucket. Now you can put permanently delete. Now you can click it. So first it is empty. Okay. When I say empty, when I enter the bucket name, I think it is just emptied. Now you need to click delete. For deletion, you need to give the storage name which you want to delete it. Okay. First, you need to empty the storage account by entering permanently delete. Second time when you are deleting, you need to delete it using the bucket name you need to mention. Okay. Okay. Any questions you have from today's session? First, let me know. Once that is finished, I'll stop the recording and I'll look into your issues. So some people are shared. Anusha, you shared the issue with the snowflake. Are you able to fix it or still you are facing that issue? Clear, team? All of you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So Anusha, are you there or you are not there? Your issue is
Mm.
fixed or you are still
No,
facing
no,
the
no.
issue?
Still, I'm not able to read the data.
Okay, can you share your screen? We will look into it. Everybody will see and they also will learn if some
Oh,
mistakes are there.
yeah.
Share your screen. Meanwhile, I'll delete everything. So anybody else is having any issues, you would like to share your screen so that I'll fix it immediately now because later connecting and all it is difficult. I have given you access to share. You can share your screen. Okay, right. Okay, so first thing is, okay, so cluster you turned off. Okay, fine. So I know the problem is not with the problem you, because error is saying,
Mm.
calling, the error is with your host name only. It is saying 443 is correct. User, password, compute underscore WH, database name, schema name, table name also you stored in the keyword. You don't need to
Yeah.
store table name and schema. That is not required
Mm.
generally. Okay,
And
even if you store, it's okay. But we won't store table name and all because table name and all everybody aware. Okay, so it's fine. Now what you have to do, go to keyword. First, let's understand. Okay, can you open SF host one? Click on SF host one. Click on that version, current version. Click on that. No, no, click on that. Now down, can you say show secret value? YTCGDON snowflake computing.com. And first important thing is, I hope you created a Azure Snowflake, right? Go to Snowflake now.
Mm.
Go to accounts. Down admin. Accounts. Yeah. OIT okay, looks like this is looks fine, and cloud also Azure you are using. Safe side, you just copy this once and put it in the Notepad because I want to verify everything, right? No, down you can click. Yes, put it in the there in the notebook itself. You can put it. We will see if required. We will hard code and see where is the problem. We will understand. No, I'm not seeing you are moving the screen. Go to notebook, Databricks notebook. Yes. So Spark read that format of Snowflake option host you have given looks like same. But for now, can you okay username password? Because if you hard code everything, so what you will do is first whatever you copied that can you create a new cell, new command and put it there.
One minute.
Right side if I close this web terminal.
One minute.
There you can paste it.
Everything?
No, first you copied the host name that you paste it. Control V, you type it first there.
Okay. Sorry.
Now you open one more command. Now you open one more command. Now you copy paste fourth command, entire fourth command in the third. I'm saying entire command, entire fourth command, not fourth line. Put it in the third command. No, don't click on generate. Generate means it is generating the this one. Cancel ECC, ESC. Put it now. Paste it there. Control V. Now take the second command that host name and hard code it. First, let's understand whether code issue or your values that you stored in the keyword is wrong. We need to understand that. So first hard code this. No, don't take everything. Host name means up to only name. Correct. You hard code it. Remove the debutal secrets that get.
Yeah, I have tried in this way also.
Try. Don't worry. Let's try.
Yeah, cluster is
You
not yet
try.
started.
No, you put it everything. We have still work. You put single quotes right side also.
1 minute. 1 minute. My
Hmm. Now, second thing is username also. Can you hard code it, please? Username also, please hard code it. Username. Password, keep it as it is. Password don't show. Only username you can show. And the database name you hard code it. Database name you hard code it. Username is correct, right? Cloud Pandit DB. Okay. Remove one extra braces. Close it parenthesis one extra is the removed. Okay. Schema name, table name also you hard code it first. No, first thing is schema. Is it correct? And two closed parentheses are there. You have to remove it. First, correct the syntax. It is clearly saying there is syntax error. Schema and table name. Can you show me SF schema? I have not seen. I think it is MS schema something you have. MS schema you have. Where is SF schema? Under MS schema, what is the table? Tables also, can you expand it? We need to see what is the table that you create. Okay, cust table is there. Take MS schema, put it there, and take the here. Okay. Okay, cust table. Now wait. Now close one parenthesis after load. Close one parenthesis after load. Now you run it. One more thing, Anusha, at the username also one extra parenthesis I am seeing. Closed parenthesis.
And in
Syntax.
password.
Now you
Acha.
run it. It is reading the data. Maybe one problem is you might have entered wrong details there in the keyword. You have to re-verify either what is the problem, MS schema you have entered wrongly or table you have entered wrongly. Some details you have stored in the keyword wrongly. It is very clear, right? When you hard code it, everything is working. When you are reading password from the keyword. So meaning some details you have wrongly saved in the keyword. Hmm?
When you enter the wrong details in the keyword, it should have to show the errors here itself, right? When we
No,
run
it
this
will not tell because how it will know that what is your username or what is your password. Username and
okay,
password can be anything. So when you are using, you will not be able to connect. See, you can store blah 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 in keyword. You can read it as a secure information.
okay,
Like when you read it, it will not care about it. Whatever you stored, sensitive information, it will treat it as a sensitive information. It will send it as a securely. That's it. But it will not validate whether okay you created that password and this password is same or not. You enter where that validation will not happen. Validation will take in place only when you try to establish connection to source using that information. Okay, check one by one what you need to do. First you take the host name, run it. If you are reading means host name, read it from the keyword, existing keyword. If you keyword host name also you saved properly. Next you read host name, username from the keyword. After reading username from the keyword, if you are still reading means username also you saved properly in the keyword. Like that one by one you try out. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Next, see you people are taking like hurry worry you are doing the things. You said you already hard code and try it, it was not worked. But how it is working now? So you need to see mistakes. Okay, correct the
Yeah,
mistake because for now it is a training. I am helping you, but in real time nobody is going to fix those things, right? You need to fix your
yes.
errors. If you're not able to fix it, it's very problem. That's why try to solve all your problems by yourself. Google it, do it something that will make you to learn something new. Okay.
Yeah,
Next,
sure. Thank
anybody else is facing any such issues, team? Anybody, because I have time today, I can connect and show you. I'll fix all of your issues if you are facing any issues at any point. Anybody is there? No? Fine. Okay, Tim, then.